Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored Never Boring. You join me today at my kitchen table where I am going to be doing some repair work on some of the card elements from my copy of HeroQuest. We are going to start with the door arches. A common problem with these is that they are bent or creased. I got lucky with my set. I only have a few that are a little bit bent and they are going to be pretty easy to sort out. For this I am using a couple of pieces of card. I am actually using card inserts from the Transformers trading card game booster packs because they aren't going to leach or bleed any colour while I'm working with them, but any clean white card that isn't going to stain anything is going to be suitable. I've also got a couple of squares of greaseproof paper and some small bulldog clips. And you are going to need either a spritzer bottle with water or a bottle of fabric freshener. I have here some spiced apple and fig fabric freshener, so my doors are going to smell lovely. And what I'm doing here is I am misting both sides of the arch. I've got a piece of kitchen towel on the table and I'm just going to spray both sides. I'm not completely soaking it, but I want it to be nicely covered. Then I have a sheet of card. I'm going to layer on top a sheet of the greaseproof paper, place my slightly soggy door arch, another piece of greaseproof paper, and then the second piece of card. At this point you could just drop a big heavy book or something on top of it if you prefer, but I am actually going to use the bulldog clips to really try and squeeze those two pieces of card together. And of course the sheets of card on either side are going to prevent any damage to the door arch from the bulldog clips. And I'm going to leave that for a few hours, and then when we take the bulldog clips off, we can separate out our sandwich, and we should have, and indeed we do have, a flat, straight door arch. The bend and the crease in the card has been squashed out of it. And that is ready to go back in the box. Next up we have the Dungeon Master screen. These tend to suffer quite a bit, and I've even seen some of these where the end flaps have been ripped off completely because we have two vertical folds in the screen, which do weaken over time, and after 30 years we can see that my copy here is in very bad shape. It has ripped almost completely through and that end flap is close to being separated from the main board, but we can resolve that relatively easily. So I've got some PVA glue here and I have my texture paint tool, my Games Workshop texture paint tool, but any small flat tool will do, and I'm opening up the crack and I am putting PVA glue all the way along that crack, working it right into the join. And you don't want to completely smother the whole board with PVA glue, but you want to get enough worked into that join that you will get a good bond when it comes time to seal it up. And you will need to go all the way along. There may actually be cracking on the front and the back side of the board, but just do the front side first, and when that's completely finished, flip it over and do the back side afterwards. So I've closed the gap up. I've got some slightly damp kitchen roll here, and I'm just going to remove any excess PVA that is spludged out. And at the same time, I'm going to try and work the paper coating of the board so that it meets up and seals up. You can also see there's a small ding on the corner of the board here. So I'll put a little bit of PVA glue in there, and then I'm just working the paper covering back down over the top of the glue, pushing it flat with my texture paint tool. And then again with some very slightly damp kitchen roll, just wiping off any excess glue. having applied the glue to both flaps, I'm going to layer greaseproof paper over the whole thing. And then I'm going to apply some weight. Doing a geeky repair like this requires some geeky weight, so I am using my daughter's comic book encyclopedias. And then we just have to leave that until the glue is completely dry. When we take the weights off, hopefully we should have got some good bonds that have strengthened up those end flaps and pretty much hidden the split. And if we look at the fold here now, you can see that when I bend it, that horrible gap and the artwork all meets up. And there it is standing up, ready for use. Finally, I don't have any damaged cards. I had a few missing cards, which I had to source replacements for. But the cards need to be looked after. They are 30 years old. I wouldn't normally sleeve cards, but for this particular game, I am going to buck the trend, and I have purchased some sleeves. Because of the unusual size of the HeroQuest cards, I have bought these Yucatan card sleeves, which are 54 by 80 millimeters from Sleeve Kings. There's 110 in the pack, which is enough to do the base game, but it will not be enough to do all the cards that come from expansions as well. Especially if you've got Wizards of Morcar. You will need more sleeves. But for just the base game, this is more than enough. Let me see here, I'm just going to slide my fire spell in. And that's a really snug fit. And my Fire of Wrath is perfectly preserved. Now I just need to sleeve up the rest. And that's it, some very quick fixes for dealing with some of the common problems that arise with the card components of HeroQuest. That's straightening out any creased card. Obviously I use door arches, but anything else which has been creased in the same way, you can do the same repair on. That's fixing rips in the Dungeon Master screen and preserving your playing cards. Obviously take care when you do any of these operations yourself on your own game. Do a test first with any sprays or anything like that, and do just one thing at a time until you're confident that you can do it for everything. But that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have liked it, please consider pressing the like button. If you've really liked it, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so. And hopefully, I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.